The alarms had been screaming for 17 minutes straight, which in galactic medical terms meant everyone was officially panicking and no one knew what they were doing anymore. Holographic monitors pulsed in anxious colors around the bed where the alien woman lay with her arms crossed, tail flicking in pure irritation rather than pain. If embarrassment were radiation, the entire ward would have been evacuated by now. "I told you," she snapped for the fourth time. "It locks when I'm stressed." Yes, we understand that," chirped a senior xenobiologist who very clearly did not understand it at all. "But it has never locked this tightly. It is sealed. Completely." Another doctor leaned closer to the scanner, whispering like it might hear him. "The gateway has engaged full biological lockdown. Triple layer contraction. Self-reinforcing tissue coils. Adaptive response. Magnificent, really." "I'm right here," the woman growled. "And magnificent is not helping." A beam of light flickered on, scanning, retracting, scanning again. The machine beeped, paused, then beeped louder as if offended by the results. Somewhere in the corner, an AI surgeon rebooted for the third time. "Laser dilation?" someone suggested. "No." "Microscalpel?" "Absolutely not." "Ceremonial relaxation chant?" The woman closed her eyes. "If one more of you hums near me, I swear I will bite someone." The chant had already failed twice anyway. So had the harmonic resonance plates. So had the pheromone mist that was now making half the room smell faintly of overripe fruit and regret. The alien medical team, some of the best minds in 3 spiral arms, stood clustered together, whispering theories that got more complicated by the second. Every sentence had at least 5 syllables too many. "The system is responding defensively to incompatibility stimuli," one said. "Yes, but why is it so incompatible?" another asked. The woman stared at the ceiling. "Maybe because you're all making it worse." Her species' biology wasn't broken. It was cautious. Certain bodily gateways, intimate, vital, and extremely private, were designed to lock down unless the conditions were right. Safety first. Survival first. Unfortunately, stress counted as a threat, and the room was nothing but stress with lab coats. A junior medic waved a tablet. "We've attempted thermal regulation, neurocalming waves, and 3 approved relaxation protocols." "And?" the senior doctor asked. "And it's tighter." That word echoed. Tighter. Half the room pretended not to hear it. The other half pretended not to think about it. The woman groaned. "Wonderful. I'm going to be a medical case study titled Why We Shouldn't Panic in Groups." The doors slid open with a soft hiss. No alarms announced the arrival. No scanners tracked him. A human in a gray maintenance jumpsuit rolled in a cart with a bucket, humming tunelessly. He took one look at the chaos, the lights, the angry patient, and sighed. "Wow," he said. "You folks really went all in, huh?" No one answered him. Someone shooed him with a tentacle. Restricted area. He parked the cart anyway. "Relax, I'm just here to mop. Unless the floor's emotionally unavailable now, too." The alien woman turned her head. She eyed him. "Who's this?" "Maintenance," said the senior doctor dismissively. "Human." "Oh," she said slowly. "That explains the calm." The human leaned on the mop. "So, what's stuck?" Silence dropped like a tool tray. "That is classified medical information," a doctor snapped. She raised a brow ridge. "It's sealed shut," she said flatly. "They've been poking it with machines for half an hour." The human winced. "Yeah, that'll do it." The doctors bristled. "We are applying the most advanced technology," he finished. "Sure. Ever tried opening a jar after 10 people already failed and got angry at it?" No one liked that analogy. He gestured to the monitors. "You're squeezing it tighter by stressing her out. Bodies do that. Mine does. Yours probably do too, unless you're all born relaxed." The woman snorted despite herself. "They're definitely not." He looked at her. Really looked. Not clinically. Not awkwardly. Just like a person talking to another person. You okay? She exhaled. I'd be better if everyone stopped treating me like a puzzle. Fair. He nodded. Then, casually, did anyone try warm water and patience? The room erupted. That is absurd. Primitive. Unapproved. He shrugged. Works on pipes. Works on doors. Works on people. The sensors suddenly flickered. Just a little. Everyone froze. The alien woman felt it too, and for the first time since the alarm started, she smiled. The senior doctor cleared his throat like he was about to announce a funeral. The fluctuation is a coincidence. Human, please step away from the patient. The human didn't move. He dipped the mop into the bucket instead, wrung it out slowly, and said, Look, I'm not trying to steal your thunder. I just don't see why everyone's yelling at her body like it's broken. I am not yelling, snapped one of the surgeons. You just threatened it with a laser, the human replied. That counts. The alien woman tilted her head, watching him now. Not the mop, not the bucket, him. You're saying this happens to humans too? He chuckled. Lady, humans lock up emotionally, mentally, and physically if you look at us wrong. You ever try to relax while 6 experts argue over you like you're a malfunctioning appliance? Several doctors shifted uncomfortably. One muttered, That is, statistically plausible. Exactly, the human said. You want it to open? Stop treating it like an enemy bunker. The AI surgeon chimed in, voice far too cheerful, suggesting removal of non-essential personnel. Finally, the woman said. It learned something. The doctors protested loudly. Credentials were cited. Centuries of study were waved around like shields. The human waited until they ran out of breath. Okay, he said calmly. Quick experiment. 5 minutes. No machines, no chanting, no staring like you're trying to intimidate it. That is highly unorthodox. So is whatever this is. He gestured at the room. And that hasn't worked. The woman looked at the doctors. Then back at him. 5 minutes, she said. If it fails, you can all go back to panicking professionally. Reluctantly, they backed off. Lights dimmed. The room felt quieter instantly, like someone turned down the universe's volume. The human filled a small basin with warm water. Not hot. Not cold. Just comfortable. The kind of temperature that didn't demand attention. Why water? She asked. Because warmth tells bodies they're safe, he said. Same reason humans soak sore muscles. Same reason people take long showers when life sucks. She laughed softly. You humans are strange. Yeah, but we survive. He spoke to her while he worked, not about the problem, not about anatomy, but about nothing important. He complained about clogged drains. About supervisors who overthink simple fixes. About how the trick to stubborn things was never force, just time and the right pressure. You're very calm for someone surrounded by experts glaring at him, she said. He smirked. I clean bio-waste for a living. Judgment doesn't scare me. Her shoulders eased. She hadn't realized how tense she'd been until they dropped. The monitors changed again, just slightly. The AI made a confused noise. That should not be responding, a doctor whispered. The human glanced at the display. See? It's listening. The woman swallowed. It feels different. Good different? Yes, she admitted. Less clenched. He grinned. That's the word, huh? She rolled her eyes. Don't make it weird. I'm not. You guys already did that. A senior physician stepped forward, horrified. You are anthropomorphizing a biological defense system. No, the human said gently. I'm respecting it. The woman exhaled slowly, following his pace without being told. Breathing with him. Not because it was medical, but because it felt right. The room's tension cracked like old ice. A soft chime echoed from the scanner. The AI froze mid-sentence. No, a doctor whispered. That reading is impossible. The woman blinked then laughed, A real laugh, loose and surprised. Oh. Oh wow. The human raised a brow. We good? She met his eyes. We're opening. Absolute silence swallowed the ward. No alarms. No chance. Just stunned professionals staring as centuries of research quietly lost an argument to warm water, patience, and a janitor who treated a problem like a person. No one spoke for a full 3 seconds, which in a medical ward was unprecedented and deeply uncomfortable. The monitors had stopped flashing red and switched to a calm, approving blue, like they were proud of themselves for finally making sense. The AI surgeon made a soft rebooting sound and then went silent, as if it knew better than to comment. One of the senior doctors leaned closer to the display, blinking rapidly. That opening rate is physiologically impossible. The alien woman stretched slightly and let out a long, satisfied breath. And yet here we are. Her tone wasn't smug. It was relieved. Comfortable. Like someone who'd been holding a tension headache for hours and finally felt it melt away. She looked at the human and shook her head. You didn't even try to force it. He shrugged. Why would I? Stuff that locks up usually does it for a reason. That is not how our manuals describe it. Another doctor said weakly. Yeah, the human replied. Your manuals sound like they were written by people who've never been stuck in a tight spot. That earned a few coughs. Someone in the back pretended to recalibrate a scanner that clearly didn't need it. The alien woman laughed again, this time louder. I cannot believe this. Centuries of medical tradition, undone by warm water and a guy with a mop. Hey, he said, holding up a finger. Don't forget patience. That's premium-grade human technology. A medical officer activated a recorder, hands shaking. For the record, what exactly did you do? He thought about it. I stopped treating her like a problem. The recorder paused, as if offended by the answer. Another monitor chimed. The data streamed fast enough that the doctors had to zoom out to keep up. Readings stabilized. Systems normalized. The biological lockdown disengaged fully, neat and orderly, like it had been waiting for permission the entire time. That response curve, someone whispered. It's elegant. The alien woman crossed her arms and smirked. You hear that? My body has better manners than you. The human leaned back against the cart. Told you. Bodies like being listened to. That was when the door slid open again, this time accompanied by hushed voices and a very official-looking cluster of alien administrators. News traveled fast in a space station, especially when alarms stopped screaming unexpectedly. What happened? One demanded. The senior doctor swallowed. The issue has been resolved. How? All eyes turned, slowly, painfully, toward the human janitor. He raised the mop slightly in acknowledgement. Hi! The administrators stared. One whispered. That's a human. Yes, the woman said brightly. And apparently the only one in the room who knows how not to panic. The officials began talking over one another immediately. Words like classification, compatibility, and risk assessment bounced around the room. One of them gestured at the human. Is he dangerous? The human snorted. Only to stuck doors and bad moods. The alien woman sat up more comfortably now, clearly enjoying herself. He talked. He waited. He didn't assume my body was malfunctioning just because it didn't obey him. That is not how biological systems are. A doctor began. She cut him off. It is how mine is. The data recorder beeped again, flagging a new annotation. The AI surgeon, apparently recovering its courage, finally spoke. New category required. Human relaxation compatible intervention. The room exploded. That is not a thing. It is now. Who authorized this? The human glanced at the woman. She tilted her head, smiling. I did. An administrator turned pale. Do you realize what this means? Humans may be uniquely capable of bypassing biological safeguards across multiple species. The human winced. Please don't phrase it like that. Makes it sound creepy. She laughed, genuinely amused. Relax. You're not a weapon. You're a, what do humans call it? Maintenance? He offered. She nodded. Exactly. You fix what others overcomplicate. The officials huddled, whispering urgently. The woman leaned closer to him and lowered her voice. Looks like you just became a medical breakthrough. He sighed. All I wanted to do tonight was finish mopping and go home. Well, she said, eyes bright with teasing warmth. Congratulations. You accidentally opened more than you planned. The monitors hummed softly, perfectly stable, as the galaxy quietly adjusted to the idea that sometimes the most impossible problems didn't need brilliance, just a human who knew when to ease the pressure. By the time the alarms were officially silenced and the paperwork avalanche began, the human janitor had been promoted 3 times without anyone actually asking him. A badge appeared on his jumpsuit. Then another. Someone tried to assign him a security escort, which he politely declined because it made mopping awkward. Across the station, emergency bulletins quietly rewrote themselves. What had been classified as a catastrophic biological failure was now labeled an unexpectedly successful human-assisted resolution. That phrase got longer every time an administrator touched it, as if complexity might reclaim some dignity. The alien woman stood, fully steady now, and rolled her shoulders, testing comfort like someone who'd finally gotten out of a too-tight seat. I feel normal, she said, almost surprised by it. Better than normal. Like my body remembered something everyone else forgot. A doctor cleared their throat. Your species' defense mechanisms were designed for survival, she finished. Not performance anxiety. The human smirked. Preach. An official approached him with a tablet already glowing with approvals. You are hereby requested to remain on station as a consultant. He squinted at the screen. Does this come with a raise? The official hesitated. It comes with prestige. He shook his head. Hard pass. She laughed, delighted. You really don't want to be famous for this, do you? Not particularly, he said. Being good at opening stuck things isn't a personality. Speak for yourself, she replied. You just became a cautionary tale and a legend at the same time. Medical staff hovered nearby, pretending not to listen while listening very hard. One whispered, Do you think humans could help with other locked responses? Another hissed, Lower your voice. The AI surgeon pinged again, projecting a revised protocol. Recommendation: reduce panic. Increase warmth. Introduce humor. The room stared. The human pointed at the projection. See? Even the robot gets it now. The alien woman stepped closer to him, dropping her voice. You know they're going to study you. Let them, he said. They'll just learn that humans don't like being rushed. She smiled at that. Not flirtatious exactly, more appreciative. You treated me like a person when everyone else treated me like a system. He shrugged. Systems break. People tense up. An administrator interrupted, flustered. There is already discussion of designating humans as a biological compatibility asset. He grimaced. Please don't put that on a poster. The woman laughed, then winced playfully. Too late. Somewhere, an intern is already misspelling your species' name. A pause settled, comfortable this time. No sirens. No chanting. Just the soft hum of a station that had nearly panicked itself into disaster. She glanced at his cart. You still have work to do, don't you? Always, he said, picking up the mop. Mess never cleans itself. She nodded thoughtfully. That might be the most human thing I've heard all day. As he turned to leave, a doctor called out. Wait, what should we tell the council? What is the official explanation? He stopped, considered, then said, Tell them you tried too hard. The council did not like that explanation, but it stuck anyway. Later, long after the officials dispersed and the station returned to its usual overthinking rhythm, a new footnote appeared in the medical archives. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't elegant. It simply read, In cases of biological lockdown, consider comfort before control. The alien woman watched the human push his cart down the corridor, shaking her head with a soft smile. You humans, she murmured. You survived the universe by refusing to fight everything. He glanced back. Works more often than you'd think. She called after him, teasing warmth in her voice. If my species ever asks how it happened, what should I say? He thought for a moment. Say we loosened up. She laughed, easy, unguarded, and somewhere deep in the station, a dozen experts quietly updated their definitions of strength.